What's up, guys? This is Lemon Sweet Tea, and I know it's been a little while since I posted my last video. Back in November it was, when we took our trip to Crystal River. If you haven't seen that video, certainly look it up. It's actually a really good fishing trip. But it's been kind of a busy winter, so I haven't really been able to post a whole lot. Pretty much with Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, those things keep you pretty busy with your family. Especially any of you newlyweds know what that's like, trying to coordinate going to 4 or 5 different houses on one day. It's kind of a pain, but at the same time, you love your family, so you got to do your best for them. But as for today, you're not going to get to see any fishing. I'm sorry if that's why you came. What we're going to do is we're going to go out on the town just a little bit. Stay, Daisy. I got things to do. Poor thing. Home Security 101. Lock your doors when you leave. So I don't know if you saw it in the background already, but it's been kind of a busy winter, as I said, and the reason being is I've been saving like a madman. I needed something that I could get out and do some of this outdoor stuff that I like to do, and my wife's Toyota Corolla just wasn't quite cutting it. So what I did is I went out and I bought myself a Nissan Frontier. Paid cash for it. It was pretty much years worth of saving plus this year's tax returns. That's the only way that I was going to be able to afford this truck. But I needed something that would be paid for, something that I wouldn't have to worry about getting a little dented and dinged up, and that's what I've got here. It's an older truck. It's a 2000 model, but for me it's going to do wonders for what I need to do with it. And today we're going to take it out to a friend of mine, his house. He's got a dirt track, and I'm going to go play around on it just a little bit, and I'm going to bring you guys along. So stick around and we'll see you shortly. So while we're en route to my friend's house, a little history into some of my vehicle ownership. When I was 15, my dad, who runs a pest control company here in North Georgia, he gave me out of his fleet. He retired one of his trucks. He gave me a Chevy S10, 99 model. It was a 4-cylinder manual transmission, and it was a truck that in high school, since it had a 4-cylinder, it didn't have a lot of power. It was kind of like having a truck but not having the guts in the truck. And I let that kind of get under my skin back in high school. A lot of the guys, they'd have these brand new trucks. Isn't that nice? They'd have these brand new trucks, and looking back, I see how kind of foolish it was for me to think that my truck was any worse than theirs. I put 300,000 miles on that S10 before I sold it, and I still to this day kind of regret selling it. Not to say that I don't like the truck that I'm in now, because it's a really good pickup. I've not had hardly any problems out of it already in just the few weeks that I've owned it. It's an old truck, like I said. It's almost 20 years old, and it's got 330,000 miles on it. It's an old truck. But back to what I was getting at, when I sold my S10, It was right before my wife and I got married, and I was going to buy, or I actually bought, a 2007 GMC Envoy. And in my young excitement, I didn't pay attention really to what I was buying. I bought a lemon in that SUV, and you know, it had more power than anything I'd ever really driven before. I always drove 4-cylinder pickups or little 6-cylinder pickups, something like that, and it was an inline 6. It had something like 180 horsepower or something like that. It had a lot of get up and go, but I had a lot of problems out of that one. And right after that, my wife and I got married, and she brought with her a little Chevy Cobalt, and it was a decent car for her. About a month after she and I got married, she was on her way to work one morning, and something distracted her, and she took that car, that little Cobalt she had, and she drove it off of a hill. She went off the road and went off down into a ravine. She came out completely unscathed, but the car, you car guys might know kind of what happened here. The car went off the bluff, landed on its nose, and then turned on its side and slid back and was laying on its side. My wife totaled her car, so the only option we had at the time, because you know, we're newlyweds, we're still trying to figure out the whole money thing. The only option we had was to put her in that Envoy. Well, that Envoy was huge to her. And y'all have seen my wife in my videos. She just stands just under my shoulders. She's short. She can't really see out of a big vehicle like that. So I sold the Envoy in order to go put a down payment on my wife's 2015 Corolla. And that's the vehicle that you've seen me driving. You've seen in my previous videos. It's been the Corolla. That's been the one that we took out. Well, in selling the Envoy, I sold the second vehicle. And so we've been moving more and more towards some things that we got to do around the house, and some, you know, moving towards some of these outdoor videos that I like to do. I needed something. I needed a pickup truck again. And, you know, through saving all winter long, most of the year, saving up every extra penny that I had, and then getting our taxes back, I was able to go pay cash for this truck. And this is going to be the truck that you see in most of my videos in the future. So I hope you guys, you know, enjoy watching the videos that I do. Certainly, if you do, drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe to my channel. You know, that always helps me out. It's at this point, I'm not getting paid by YouTube. I mentioned my dad had a pest control company, and I work for him full time, and that's one of the things that slows me down a lot in making these videos. I have to work a full-time job, so subscribing to my channel isn't getting me extra pay. It's just giving me a confidence booster that you guys actually like what I'm doing. So I certainly guys, I hope if you like what I'm doing, let me know. And we will see you here shortly when we get to the dirt track. Well guys, we made it to the dirt track. I got Andrew with me today. He's going to be my drone pilot. Kind of hard to fly a drone and drive a truck at the same time. I'm going to take a little walk along the dirt track, pick up any little bits of metal that's laying out in it, toss them aside. That way I'm not, I don't want to puncture a tire today, so I want to be careful with that. So, check back in a minute. Alright, here we go. Just the tire.
Times a day. I don't need you anymore. I don't need you anymore. I trusted you and there was no one else. All you did was make me doubt myself. Don't believe you anymore. Don't believe you anymore. You bled me out, you tore me down. Your time has come, you can go. Cause you're alive, alive. All my faith has been wasted, wasted. You're alive, alive. I don't need you to save me anymore. I'm fragile but I'm not a fool. I won't hear another word from you. You won't hurt me anymore. You won't hurt me anymore. The hand I held has held me down. It took so long, now I know. Cause you're alive, alive. All my faith has been wasted, wasted. Cause you're alive, alive. I won't sit here and take this anymore. You can say anything that you wanna say, but my attention is long gone and turned away. You're such a lie, you are only the enemy. Everything you are, I will deny. Cause you're alive, alive. I'll just come out and say it, say it. You're alive, alive. All my faith has been wasted, wasted.
Steer, you got to steer, sir. Where you going? To the left.
So I got done fooling around out here, and these boys showed up and they're gonna run their go-karts on a dirt track. Kind of an unexpected twist of the day, but I think y'all enjoy getting to watch these kids have a blast. Racers, start your engines! Oh, lost his flag. He's just having a ball, isn't he? Yeah. Well, guys, we got done. And we're finally back home. And if you take a good look at the deck in the background, you'll understand that I have a project. When I said I needed a truck, I said I needed a truck. I can't haul lumber in my wife's car. So stick around. I'm going to be doing a little DIY segment around my home. And we'll see you on the next one. It's coming at you real soon.